All right, what's happening, people? Welcome back to the Brothers Geek Out channel. This is Fight Talk with the BMAs, the basic MMA analysts. And this is going to be our 2022 highlights or standout moments in our opinions, what we enjoyed for this year, what fights, what moments for us that stood out. I'm sure there's tons of fights and we're going to probably miss some and whatnot, but this is just our opinion anyway. But I got my boy here, Hey West, Slick. How you doing, bro? How was Christmas? How was all of that stuff? Oh, Merry Christmas to everyone, by the way. It was just yesterday,
Happy
but
holidays.
happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays. Yeah, man. Because remember, not everybody celebrates Christmas. You say happy holidays is generalized, keep
That
it
is true. That is very true. Happy
keep it
holidays, man.
simple. But yeah, man. No, it was all right, pretty low key. Yeah, I did what I wanted to do at the end of the day. How was yours?
Yeah, just chilled with the family. We don't celebrate it, but we have the
Yeah,
day off,
yeah,
so we all
yeah,
get
yeah.
together and just
Right,
chill. So it
right.
was nice.
So how was the food then? Because that's what it's about. If it's not
Food
about the
is
whole
good.
paganism, it's about the food.
We don't need to go into that,
or
but
or let's
yeah.
call it consumerism. If it's not about consumerism, how was the food, my friend?
Food was awesome. Food was awesome, man. My
Yeah.
brother, my sister-in-law, they hooked up. Everyone kind of contributed. I didn't do nothing. I looked after the babies. I looked after the babies. That was my job. Keep them calm as much as I can.
Really?
Food was
I bet
great,
your
man.
lady's just like, you're doing a good job.
You know what it is? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I like looking after the little ones, especially when and then trying to find
Right,
solutions on how to calm them down, which is never easy because you don't know. But finding different solutions, trying to be that cool uncle, I guess. But
right. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Come, let's
it was
play.
yeah, it was
Yay.
nice, man. It was nice. It was nice to just chill with the family. And even today, it's Boxing Day, and I'm still
Mm,
chilling with the family. Got a little bit of work to do.
yeah.
Technically, I'm working because
Oh, really?
I'm based in Dubai because and then all
Yeah,
public
yeah, yeah,
holiday.
yeah.
So I'm kind of working as well. So I'm just doing this during my lunch break. But
Oh,
yeah, no,
okay.
all good, man. But let's talk about some fights or highlights, should I say, man? Because it's been a fun year, as it always is for fight fans and whatnot. And me and K West, as we've discussed before, we're fans, man. We're two friends. We're fans, and it keeps us connected. It keeps us communicated, and that's what we're here. That's why we do this fight talk. We just express our thoughts, our opinions, from a basic MMA analyst perspective. But before we start, bro, because we're gonna go through like I don't really have a top 10. I just kind of listed down highlighted
I know.
moments,
Same,
so we could just kind
same,
of talk
same.
about those. But I did want to start off with some important stuff, right?
Go
That
on.
happened in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
year. Maybe you can jump in on these. Like, first of all, rest in peace to
Oh,
Stephen Bonner, passed away yesterday at 45. That was shocking and sad news. I mean, legend. And when I
yeah.
say legend, he was probably involved in probably one of the most important MMA fights, not just UFC, MMA fights, with that fight between him
Mm-hmm.
and Forrest Griffin, which
Griffin.
literally was the end of the fight. What's that series called? Fight and
Tough,
Tough
tough.
series,
Yeah,
episode
yeah,
one.
yeah.
The company,
Yeah, tough
Dana
one.
White and the Petito brothers, they invested. They thought, let's give this show
Mm,
a go. The business was losing, and as
paid
that
off
fight was
big
happening with Stephen
time.
Bonard and Forrest Griffin, like the ratings was just going up as the fight was going on because they just went to war,
Mm,
and it
mm,
was one of the most important fights in MMA history. I think because of how popular it brought it. It was just that next level thing, and it's just sad to see and he passed away. So condolence to him and his family
mm,
for that. And
that is
then
tough.
yeah, and then we also lost this year, and I'm sure we lost other MMA fighters as well. But we also lost Rumble Johnson this year as well. So rest in peace to him as well. Another young man as well, because he was like I think he was under 40.
He wasn't
And
even
again,
40,
he wasn't even
38,
40 exactly. And I
39.
used to call him Rumble Humble Johnson because he was so nice. This beast that just
Yeah,
knocked
yeah, yeah.
people's heads off. And he was
So
just
violent.
so humble and nice. And again, it was just sad,
Mm,
sad news to hear him pass away at such a young age as well. So I just wanted
yeah,
to
yeah.
give start off with those just respect to those two for this year as we get through.
But
Um,
I have a, I remember something funny from Rumble. Yeah, it was like one of the embedded fight. What do you call it again? Fight UFC embedded during the. I can't remember who he was fighting, and he was going to do like some health stuff, massages, whatever. And someone said, "You want to go to a colonic to get your colon cleaned?" And he was like, "I don't do that." he was so like, "Nope, that's not going anywhere near me," kind of thing. And that's what, yeah, it's funny, you know.
Oh man, he's oh
Yeah,
man, rest in peace, man. He was such a nice, funny guy. Just, I mean, from what I know, I don't know him personally, but from what I've seen and from what people
yeah,
say, so yeah, just shocking news and like both of those. But rest in peace, condolences to their families.
yeah. I
The
got
other
those
things that
down on my list as well.
yeah,
Go
other things I wanted to kind of highlight for this year was we had a few retirements. There was a lot,
on.
obviously, of retirements, but just a couple of
Yeah,
ones that I
yeah.
wanted to note out. Like Donald Cerrone, legend, right?
Ah,
I think he
yes.
holds a record for most time in Octagon, or most fights aside, or most wins.
Something.
I think
Or fight
Frankie,
bonuses, maybe.
yeah, maybe
Maybe.
something. He definitely owns
Win
something.
bonus. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Frankie Edgar. Like for me, he was
So he
always the
has.
Rocky. He fought with heart in those fights.
Yeah.
Him and
Yeah,
Gray
he did.
Maynard. Was it Gray Maynard?
Oh shit.
Those
Oh
man.
shit. Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
a For me, he was always heart, man. Like Frankie Edgar fought with heart, man. He was a lightweight champion when really he wasn't even a lightweight, and that's how you know he was a beast. Um,
Mm, yeah.
Joanna
Frankie did.
I can never
Yeah.
can't pronounce her
Yeah,
surname, but Joanna. I mean, listen, like regardless her skill set in as a female Muay Thai fighter in the UFC was just unbelievable. The way she used to piece up people was unbelievable, man. So amazing.
The
Luke
joke.
Rockhold,
Oh, he went out on his shield. That was a good showing though for a last fight.
yeah, and he
It was a good
smeared his
showing.
blood all over Thing's face, which was also funny.
That was disgusting. That was so disgusting. Oh
Yeah.
my god. That.
Marlon Moraes, he was always, I don't know, something
Oh,
happened,
I
right? I
recommend
mean,
that.
it feels like something happened with him, but he was like on this
Yeah,
rise, and then all of a sudden,
yeah, who was it now? Wasn't it Cejudo who put him in his place? And
yeah,
after that, yeah, because when he came in, he just like lopping off head,
that's
and
it.
then
He had a great switch kick,
Cejudo,
right? He had this amazing, fast,
yeah,
powerful
he
switch kick.
took off Aljo and made him do the
Aljo,
dab.
yeah, yeah, Aljo, man, freaking out.
Imagine
Um,
getting knocked out like that. That was
Bro,
terrible.
it could definitely happen. It definitely happened the way the body would react. Uriah Hall,
Mm.
I mean, I definitely remember him with that spinning kick from that tough
Oh,
series. I mean,
right.
that was just a
To
brutal,
the
brutal knockout.
to the kidneys, or was it a head kick?
No, remember the head kick, spinning kick in the tough thing. He just
Okay,
finished.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
very scary knockout.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then Zabit Nurmagomedov,
Who next? Who
who
next?
who I've just thought there was so much potential.
Magomed
He was so
Sharikov.
exciting to see, and I got a
Yeah.
chance to meet him. But I met him in New York,
Oh
remember?
yeah,
Which was
yeah, yeah.
awesome. I'm kind of
You
geeking out
told me
about
some
that.
lies. You told me
Yeah,
some lies.
well, there was a communication issue there. But I met him, so I geeked out, and he was a part of that Dagestani, I believe so,
Yeah,
Dagestani
yeah.
whole
Contingent.
crew. Amazing striking. I mean, I
Mm.
think he's had that Shaolin Kung Fu background. It was just so fun to see, and he's wrestling, and I wish he carried on. I mean, Khabib made a comment recently saying, well, he didn't promise his mother that he won't become that. So he just said that. Like they spoke about it, but someone asked him, would he come back? He goes, well, he didn't promise his mother. So, you know, that means, I don't know what that means, but you never know. It'd be so
I
fun to
believe
get
he'll
him
come
back.
back.
I hope so. I hope
I
so.
believe he'll come back because being a doctor is not fun. I believe he'll come back.
I hope so, man. I hope so. And then lastly, he did not retire, but he did leave the UFC on a high note, which I'm very happy about, was Nate Diaz. I mean, legend, fun to
Oh
watch, fan
man.
favorite. I'm glad
Wow.
his story ended the way it did because it was
Yeah.
supposed to be Hamzat, which would have been bad and it would not have been great. I wouldn't hated to see that. And then, all
Yeah.
that shit happened and it worked out for the best. He fought Tony Ferguson. He won that fight. He went out. He was like, fuck you all. And a legend. And I'm glad that happened for him. So shout outs
Yeah.
to him, man.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that one. That's a good one. I heard he's gonna do boxing.
I hope
Maybe.
so. And I hope he makes a lot of money. Jake Paul
Yeah.
obviously keeps calling him out and whatnot. Whatever he
About the
does, I
fight.
hope he makes a lot of money and does what he does. Like, he's a
Yeah.
fan favorite. I think no matter where he goes, people are
Massive.
gonna follow him.
Massively, because he's almost got the everyman attitude. Just like, man, don't give me any shit. Let me do my thing. Get out my face. you're in my space. All right, let me do what I'm doing and just be cool. He's, you
Yeah.
know, like he's like the guy who got famous and doesn't necessarily want all of the fame. Just wants to work. You know?
Him and his brother, yeah, him and his brother didn't give a shit, man. They were like, I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck. Let me just fight and do my thing. But also, I used to
I
love how honest.
remember
Yeah, go on.
when he left the interview and someone was asking him questions and he was just like, all right, I'm over it.
Well, his brother Nick was always the same as well. He's like he always was real about it. That's what I loved about them as well. He was like, I don't like
Yeah,
fighting. I don't like getting hit. I don't like
yeah.
hitting people. It was so real. Like you would think that they're the type of dudes that would want to fight. It's like,
Every
nah, man.
man.
I don't want to
Yeah.
fight. I don't like this. Like, don't ask me questions about if I'm scared, if I'm nervous. Of course I am. Like, I think Diaz, he said a great statement. What did he say? I'm trying to remember it now, man. It was something awesome where it was like, he said something about he was scared, but there was something that
Mm.
it's not coming to mind, man. But it was an awesome statement I remember at the time where he was like, "I'm I think I'm going in there not to get knocked out or something. I can't remember what it was. It was a great statement because it was like someone asked him a prediction of the fight, and he was like, "Listen, man, like don't ask me these stupid questions. I'm going in there with the intentions of not to get knocked out. Like don't I don't know something like that. Awesome. Anyway, legend,
Yeah,
and
okay.
I'm glad he went out the way he did and not how it was planned. I mean, it
Mm,
would have been bad which comes
mm.
up, and I didn't want to
It
see that.
would not have
Um,
been pretty at all.
Oh man.
Mm.
Well, look on that, like, bro, like I said, I've got a list of like fights, right, for UFC and some ONE FC and some Bellator stuff, and fighters, like moments of fighters this year and whatnot. But do you want to go first with your list, and then I'll go through my list? Again, this is not in any order. This is just highlights of fights and then specific individual fighters that I'm excited about, or I thought they had a great moment this year. But do you want to go first with your list, and then I'll go through I'll quickly bang through my list.
So, or we can just do switch it over one, one, one. You know,
Yeah, yeah. All
boom,
right.
boom.
Cool.
Right. So, I've got Cain Velasquez getting arrested for taking down an alleged pedophile. And then getting released recently. So that was amazing, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
You
yeah.
know, the whole
Justice, man.
community was for him. Yeah, they were for him. Obviously, um, I think shots were fired. It was a whole crazy situation, you know. And obviously, everybody in their right mind would probably think the same thing. Like, if someone's going to do any harm to my children, then that's it. They're done. And that's what he did. And he was in there for what, 6, 7 months,
I
probably
think
like
so,
pretty
yeah.
much the whole year. Yeah, bail was denied and everything, but I think just a week ago, 2 weeks ago, he's been released on, I don't know, like probation, whatever it is. But he's at home with his family, and although he doesn't fight anymore, he was one of the best heavyweights that we've ever seen. He was a hybrid of his kind. So yeah, Kane.
Yeah, no, awesome. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, and listen, I don't have kids yet, but I got nephews and nieces and whatnot. Anyone, I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. So justice
Yeah,
was served,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's a shame that he had to spend that time away from his family. But fuck that
yeah,
pedophile motherfucker, man. My
yeah.
bad. I don't care. Fuck that dude. So he did what anyone would do, straight
That's
up. But
understandable.
yeah, no, you're right. All right, cool.
Go ahead,
I
man.
don't have any other. Should I go next?
Let's go, man. We just go
I
boom,
I
boom.
got
We're
I
playing
got
tennis here, Gilman. G
all
man,
right.
playing tennis.
I got Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards, man.
Oh yeah.
That knockout, then becoming champion, and like not just that, just his path through COVID, all that shit that he went through, he couldn't get fights.
Oh yeah,
Just his
yeah,
life
yeah,
story and whatnot. And then
yeah.
I feel like that fight was a representation of his life, like just getting beat down for 5 rounds.
Yeah,
I mean, he done good in the
yeah.
first round, to be honest with you. Took down,
He
he
did.
gave Ping the
He took
first takedown.
down Usman.
He was gonna
Yeah.
lose that fight, and then boom, head kick knockout, became champion. He done his camp in the UK, done everything in the UK. Just it
Yeah,
was a great moment, man. It was a great moment. So
it
I
was.
want to shout outs to him, and I think Kamaru Usman handled that well. I'm a fan of Kamaru. I don't know why people hate him, but I'm a fan. I think he handled it
People hate
so
Kamaru.
well. Yeah, man, bare people, loads of people do, man. I don't know why, but I think he's awesome.
You know what was the highlight for me with Kamaru Usman? Right. seeing his black ass in the Black Panther.
Oh yeah.
And, yeah, and it was brief, and I was just like, Usman! And then he got cussed out, and then I didn't see him for the rest of the movie, but at least he got a speaking role. You know,
He did,
that's
he
pretty
did,
good.
he did. Well, he
And
failed,
he
didn't it?
looked good.
The guy cussed him, saying like, if this was part of my
Yeah,
tribe, like, because Namor got through,
yeah,
like, you...
yeah. Oh man, yeah, no, what an amazing finish, amazing fight. Um, people were going back and forth saying that maybe he had too many things going on and he lost concentration. What I mean, people are going to talk, but what a fantastic finish! The way that he set that up was ridiculous. Like it was just
Beautiful,
perfect,
beautiful.
so
And
perfect.
in the fifth round, and it wasn't like, and this is what I was like, it wasn't just like head down, psh, like no, it was a
It
beautiful
was
setup,
measured,
beautiful
yeah,
head kick on the
measured,
fifth round,
yeah,
losing, tired. Ah, perfect. I thought it was amazing.
measured,
So yeah, that was
measured,
my
yeah,
next one.
yeah,
Well, you go
no
next, bro.
doubt. My phone is over there, but I think it would be who's I got, who's I got. Oh, I got Pereira comeback. So I got the two of them, right? Comebacks of the year, right? So Pereira and Edwards, you know. So similar kind of situation. Pereira was losing pretty much most of the fight, right, on points. Yeah, I think obviously he was throwing the hardest shots, but Izzy was throwing more shots, getting him into on his back and the wrestling position and so on. And then, fifth round just stored up this last bit of nitrous and just went ha 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 just
That
went
left
Vito
hook,
Belfort him.
bam,
And
that left hook,
yeah.
he
And that
connected.
was Izzy wasn't yeah, it did. Izzy wasn't down though, but like he needed to get protected. And it was insane because I'm sure you and everybody else was like, okay, this is done, matter of time. Oh, oh! Ah! It was one of those moments.
We had, but that's the crazy thing. Liam, Kamaru Usman and Adesanya, like again, we were talking about this before, like two Nigerian brothers,
Oh,
the African
Nigerians as
kings,
well.
the African kings, and it just happened at the
Yeah,
same in the same sort of thing, like in the fifth round. It's so crazy, like that
yeah.
happened, man. But yes, I had that on my list as well. Pereira on my list as well. Just not just a great comeback as well, just
The
a
story.
journey to the title, man. Just came. I can't remember when his first fight was in the UFC, but I swear it was within the last 2 to 3 years. My guy is like, I can't remember his record off the top of my head, but he's new to MMA and he's the UFC champion now. And you know what? He deserves it. Like people might say he didn't fight so and so, and yeah, he's got to fight other title contenders. He did skip the line. There was a storyline there and whatnot, but he did beat the champ. That's facts. He came in, he beat the champ again. That's 3-0. I mean, against kickboxing and MMA, but I think Easy could definitely do a comeback. I definitely think he could. He's so smart and cerebral. He could figure it out. But it's a great storyline. But I think, I had Prepare on my list as well.
Okay. So on that note, who would be next for Pereira? Just a off shot.
I think they could do
Run it
Izzy again.
back? Run it back? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think they could do Izzy again. All right. Next on my list was Islam Makhachev, bro. That him becoming champ. Listen, man, I think again the storyline, father's plan, Khabib retiring, father's plan was for Islam to like like Abdulmanap, like his plan to like train these two kids, his son and Islam Makhachev, and just the whole crew anyway, from this remote area in Dagestan, who nobody knew who they are. I didn't even know what the hell a Dagestanian was. And then the plan for them to both be UFC champion, like father's plan, bro, it's crazy. So, that was exciting. It was in Abu Dhabi. And the way he did it, again, another person who nobody wanted to fight, people saying he don't deserve. And then not only did he win, he destroyed the beast, Charles Oliveira, who is a beast and who is amazing. So it's just
That was
exciting to see him up there, to see his dominance, and let's see what happens next with him. So I'm excited about, Islam Makhachev, stripes to him, highlight for him for winning the belt, and see what happens with him in the future.
definitely. And that future is Volkanovski, so let's see what happens with that one.
That is going to be
Right?
exciting. Yes.
That is
February. That's going to be super exciting.
February. Oh shit, that's around the corner.
Yeah.
Massive. I mean, yeah. Habib was always confident about his man. I don't remember what his father would say about Islam, but I'm sure probably the same thing. I know that what's his coach's name? What's their coach?
Javier Mendez.
Hispanic guy. Yeah. He was always saying that like, yeah, Habib's this, we know he but Islam is this like secret, hidden genetic beast, hidden, in the lab that we haven't unleashed yet, right? And now the chain's off, and he's come running out, and he's just breaking everybody's arm, breaking everybody's neck.
It's so exciting though. It's exciting when you see these
uh,
dudes come up and they're so dominant, and you just think like, I'm a fan, and I'm like, who can beat them? And you get nervous because
who
I get
can beat
nervous.
them?
I
Most
don't want them to
important,
lose, but then I'm like, I want to
right?
see the challenge they go through. You know what I
You
mean?
want to
Or
see them? Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely. So yeah, man, AKA is a scary bunch of people. Dagestan, even scarier, straight off the bat. Right, I got one for you. Demetrius Johnson getting knocked out and then winning the belt back with the same way he got knocked out.
yeah, that was on my list too. List too. Marias, yeah, beautiful man. I mean, he's definitely one of the best pound for pound, skill wise, technique
Absolutely.
wise, everything, right?
Absolutely.
That fight was
Absolutely.
great. Listen, I don't normally with ONE FC. That was probably one of the first cards that I bought because I think they done that one on Amazon and you would have to buy it. There was a pay-per-view and stuff. Normally they show it free on YouTube. I believe was that one on my birthday? No, was it? Might not have been. Anyway, it may have
Maybe.
been. And I was gonna go, but I couldn't because the COVID
Yes.
restrictions
The
and all this
tickets
shit.
is expensive. No, it was.
No, it was. I think it was the COVID thing that got
The
me, and tickets did
restrictions.
get expensive after and whatnot. But anyway,
Yeah.
oh, when you see it in slow motion, his comeback knockout by knee, it's beautiful. But he kind of slipped the punch through the right hand, and then as Moraes was falling back, he was just kind of pacing, pushed him, sort of timing. Now, boom,
Yeah.
so good. It's like a movie, bro. It was so good, amazing. I mean, the ONE
He
FC
is.
is exciting. Like, I mean, it's definitely
Yeah.
an exciting thing, and DJ is still, no doubt, one of the best to do it. And I don't know, man, amazing, beautiful.
Absolutely. I think ONE FC got a better deal out of that swap they did with Ben Askren for sure, because they obviously wrote him off because he's not exciting and he's not creating drama and he's a geek and he likes the game, but he's able to replicate that overseas. A lot of guys can't do that. We've had many people switch over. We've had people like Will Brooks, right? Remember him from Bellator champion, came over, didn't work out. There's many names who've come over and switched. I forgot the other guy's name. Anyway, but he was able to do it. So one of the best for sure. Would he ever come up to UFC? Did you ever see it happening? No? Okay.
Nah, don't think so. I don't think so. I think he's
No,
smashing it in ONE FC. I think he's making tons of money there. They could do sponsorships and blah blah blah. He's killing it. I don't think he'll come back. No need for him to come back. That was a good shout. I want to give two more shouts to Bilal Muhammad and then Usman Nurmagomedov. Bilal Muhammad, I think again he should get that title shot next. I heard Usman's not going to get it because he hurt his hand, so he can't do it. So it should be Bilal Muhammad, but I think they're looking to do like Masvidal just to make it, a storyline. I don't mean like Masvidal's fun and whatnot, but he definitely don't deserve the title shot. He's definitely Leon Edwards definitely deserves the revenge fight, no doubt about that, because of what happened. But in regards to who deserves the title shot, I believe it should be Bilal Muhammad. So I want to give him a shout out. And then Usman Nurmagomedov, who won the lightweight Bellator belt, again, beast. Habib's cousin. Yeah.
Oh, another one of the Nurmagomedovs.
Yeah, he won the Bellator one.
Yeah.
Habib's cousin. I mean, beast.
Yes,
and then, hopefully Saeed Nurmagomedov. I mean, when I say hopefully, because I'm a fan, Nurmagomedov wins the ONE FC lightweight belt. And I keep saying that's crazy, bro. That team
world
is
domination.
Just crazy.
World domination.
Let's see what happens with that. But shout outs to them.
Massive world domination. All right, so you got I was gonna say Anderson Silva losing to Jake Paul.
That was tough. That was a bit tough.
Yeah.
I got into when I first watched MMA, first got into it, when I first got into martial arts, like properly, I don't know, my secret was like watch MMA, learn, understand that. And then anyway,
Mm.
Anderson Silva was the guy that I was following at the time. Just loved his respect as a martial artist, loved what he was doing. That was a bit heartbreaking to see, but he's still a legend. To me, you don't take away nothing from what he has done because he's still a legend.
No, yeah, no doubt about that. He's just a Jedi, simple, and they never die. They do that spirit ghost shit, So like whatever happens to him, his legacy is always going to be cemented as one of the best MMA
No
fighters of all
doubt.
time. Period.
No doubt about it.
Period.
Loved his, and he was like a Bruce Lee fan, a proper martial arts. He's a comic book geek, and he's a gamer. Like, have you seen his room with all the figures around,
No,
bro? You think
no.
this is cool? He's sideshow collectibles, bro. He's. That's what I love as well, like about martial arts as well. It's like, at one point I feel a bit embarrassed, like with my figures and whatnot. People will be like cussing me and whatnot, but then you see the best fighters in the world are just the same, and I'm like, yeah, man. I feel I don't know. There's something about it. Even I always used to
Yeah.
say this about drinking as well, like alcohol. I don't drink, but I know going out with colleagues and people just make comments and make you feel very like insecure about it because it's the cool thing to do. Everyone's out drinking. I'm so cool, and then I'll be like, you know what? Hicks and
Nah.
Gracie, the Gracie family are like the baddest fighters on the planet. And they don't drink alcohol. Like many of the Mayweather, one of the best boxers to ever live, he don't touch alcohol. And I'm like, just seeing that gave me the confidence to be like, oh yeah, you know what? I don't drink alcohol. Yes, I should be proud of it. Like
Mm.
the best fighters in the
Mm.
world don't, and I should be like, it's a human emotion thing. But it's great that I could take inspiration from them. Um, but how did I get onto this, bro? How did I get onto that thing? You mentioned, who did you mention? I lost track.
Anderson
Anderson
and
Silva, yeah,
yeah,
being a
yeah,
geek.
Anderson.
Respect. I went off track, bro. Respect to Anderson Silva. Love him to bits. Always gonna be one of my favorites. I don't care about him getting knocked or losing by Jake Paul. Yeah.
Yeah, no, me neither. But it was one of those moments that was like it incited emotion in me this year. So there you go. Your turn.
All right, I am now going into like fights, and again, these are not top 10. These are just fights that I enjoyed. I found them exciting. I was like, bro, can't wait for this fight. One of those moments. So
Mm.
I'm just gonna skim through them because we're gonna end up wasting time if we talk through all of them.
Go,
But
go, go,
I'll
go,
start
go.
off in no particular order. So Diaz versus
Yeah.
Ferguson, love that one. Great storyline for Diaz, finished well. Sterling versus Yan, I thought that was exciting just because how the first fight
Yeah.
went, and then Sterling, the
Yep.
way he came back as a champion, I thought that was awesome. And then
Solidified.
he's on this
Yeah.
roll now. The way he smashed TJ, awesome.
Oh,
Chimaev versus Holland, I think it was exciting always to see Chimaev in his dominance,
yep.
especially after his fight with Gilbert Burns, which was an awesome fight.
That
But
was crazy.
just to see his
That was
dominance, he's an exciting. And then that beef between Holland and him, it was exciting, the way that one worked out.
mm,
Kobe Covington versus Masvidal, again, another exciting storyline.
ooh,
Just because
yeah,
of the back and forth. It's just
yep,
exciting to see that and whatnot.
yep,
Volkanovski
yep.
versus Holloway. Volkanovski, I think
Oh,
he
yeah,
deserves being free time. He deserves the stripes, and I'm glad he's on that pound for
yep.
pound number one. He's fighting Makachev. Like he deserves his stripes. He is that champion. So I'm glad he got
Absolutely.
that. Ngannou versus Gain Sirigan. I thought Ngannou
Ah,
showed a different skill set, which makes him
right.
even scarier
Yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah.
heavyweight division.
Agree, agree.
Moreno versus Kaya France. I thought that was Brandon Moreno versus Kaya France. That was
Yes,
an
yes,
exciting
yes,
fight.
yes, yes,
And just
yes.
Moreno, just seeing his level, just him leveling up is so good. I'm looking forward to
Mm,
him fighting for the belt for the
of
fourth
course,
time against. Um,
unheard
yeah, who's he fighting? Who's the champion again? What have I
of.
gone blank again?
Davidson Figueredo.
Yes, four times. That's
Davidson
gonna be
Figueredo.
awesome. You
Insane.
mentioned Demetrius Johnson versus Moraes, so that was a good fight. Zhang
That was
Wei
the
Li
name.
versus Joanna. I mean, the first fight was awesome. The second fight, she finished her with that back fist, spinning back fist, so that was crazy. And then Joanna retired, and that was in Singapore as well. I missed that one.
That was in
I
Singapore.
wasn't.
Yeah, you just
Yeah,
left, didn't you?
yeah. I don't know if I just left, but I think I was in the UK at the time. I was traveling to New York.
Oh.
Um,
Okay, okay.
Vera versus Cruz. What's his name? Not Brendan Vera. What's his name?
Marlon Vera. Marlon
Marlon
Vera.
Vera. Marlon Vera versus Cruz. Another front kick knockout. And we spoke Anderson Silva earlier.
Yes.
My guy started off the trend of front kick knockouts, and then we got got a few of them this year. He done it to Dominic Cruz. Tony Ferguson got knocked out with a front kick from Chandler.
Michael Chandler.
Yeah, that was an exciting. It's exciting to see. I think they released the news that Vera's gonna fight what's his name?
Corey Sandhagen, 18th of February. Yeah,
Exciting fight. Exciting fight. I mentioned Chandler versus Ferguson. That was an exciting one as well. Chandler with that front kick.
That's on my list.
Yan versus O'Malley. I think that was a fun fight. Forget about the controversy. Forget all that stuff. O'Malley showed that he deserves to be up there, man, because he was a beast. So stripes to him. Thiragan versus Tai Tuivasa. I remember I saw that was a fun fight. The back and forth, a heavyweight back and forth fight, super fun. I saw Tuivasa in Dubai. I wish I got a picture of it. I didn't want to be that guy. I didn't want to be that guy to bother him. Thompson versus Holland. I thought that was a fun fight. Great to see Thompson do his thing. Poirier versus Chandler. You know, Poirier is just a beast up there. Chandler's very everything Chandler's in is just fucking fun because he's just an explosive dude.
Super explosive.
Burns versus Chimaev, I mentioned that. Yuri versus Teixeira, I mean, look, that was a fun fight.
That was a great fight. I was so disappointed that Glover just couldn't get it.
I mean, maybe Glover will get his chance in Brazil, which will be in January, and that'll be a great storyline for him to finish.
And then the Jamal guy is scary.
Yeah. Lastly, I had was Nong O versus Liam Harrison in Muay Thai in 1FC. I'm a fan of Liam Harrison, the Punisher. I love the way he hits pads. It's awesome. Nong O is one of the best Muay Thai fighters, but also he was a coach in Evolve, and I had a few classes with him, so I was a little bit biased. Then great fight again. I thought he retired, but he's coming back because someone called him out, so he's coming back to beat him up. So, yeah, look, that was my quick long list. I'm sure I missed loads of other fun fights, but go on, bro. Over to you. What else was on your list?
In regards to fight, you got
or just anything that you have on the list.
Well, okay, I had Anthony Joshua losing to Usyk and you know, having a mental breakdown.
Okay.
I think that's I think that like that shows a lot about men's mental health, which is avoided and not spoken about, because he did lose his shit, and I don't know who is around him, but like I think he needs some better people and he needs some help. And I think Paddy Pimblett also spoke about mental health when his guy committed suicide. And yeah, I just think it's you know, all the shots that they take to the head, stuff, you don't know how things are working. So I guess it's just really an awareness of men's mental health. Like, take it seriously, you know, like speak
100%. And just because they're famous, they're rich, they're fighters, they're boxers, it doesn't mean they don't have, you know, mental health issues like we all do. So yes, a good point.
Yeah, they're humans as well. So I have that one. I've got the Qatar World Cup, right?
Oh, okay, football. okay, that was good.
Yeah, I know you're not really into it, but I put down, you know, that it's great for the casual fan as well because it was so unexpected. You know, of course, there was a lot of controversy behind all the political stuff, whatever. But once the show began, I wasn't even interested in it, and I love football. But you know, after seeing Argentina get beaten in the open round, I was like, okay, by Saudi Arabia, okay, cool, this is interesting. This is a new storyline, and then you know, games on, and you see Portugal out in Spain, and all these favorites just going, and you see like Morocco getting further, and it was one hell of a World Cup. I've never seen a World Cup as good as that before, and I've seen quite a few. So I think just for the spectacle across the board, you know, neutrals, casuals, diehards, that was a really good event.
Yeah, and it's good that you brought it up because I'm not a football fan at all. But however, I do find the World Cup interesting, fun. I didn't follow it properly. One, because I just moved to Dubai and I was so close to Qatar, but I was too busy doing my thing. Two, I'm just not as interested. But yeah, it was fun. I was on the plane on the way home to the UK during the finals, and they were updating on the finals, and apparently that finals was super exciting. The oh, have I lost you? You're gone on mute, bro. It says you're on mute. I don't know what's happened, but yeah, you're off mute now. Wait.
You there?
Yeah, there you are. There you are. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Hold on. What's going on?
Some technical issues. Hello. Testing. Sorry, guys, technical issues right now. Yeah, hello. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe take off your headphones and see if that works. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm trying to. Okay. What about now?
Yeah, I can. I mean, I can hear you.
You can hear me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
All
I
right. Well,
think
we got about 4 minutes left before we get kicked off Zoom anyway. But yeah, the finals
yeah.
apparently was supposed to be really good for that Argentina versus France, and then Argentina obviously winning at the end, which is awesome. But yeah, go and carry on, bro. We got 3 minutes.
Oh, right. I didn't really have much else, man. You pretty much gave the best of the best of what I had on my list. If anything, it was
All right,
uh
cool, man. I mean, you know what?
nah, yeah, you
Since
pretty much
the World
polished it,
Cup,
man. You polished it.
since you brought up the World Cup, I did want to see I did want to just bring up real quick because I didn't really speak about this, but there was a lot of controversy that I saw and a lot of boycotting and this and that. Like it's always, in my opinion, like again, maybe I could be wrong, but I'd like just because it was the Islamic world and all this sort of stuff, and people trying to influence their or dictate how they should run. It's about respecting the law of the land. I'm in the UK. I travel around. When I'm in the UK, I got to respect the law of the land here. When I move to go back to Dubai, I got to respect the law of the land there. There was a lot of controversy around that, but I thought that it was great that it was held in Qatar. Don't get me wrong, they're not perfect and nobody's perfect. But just from a perspective, I saw loads of football, and I don't want to call them this, but you just call them this like hooligans, right? Who you just think are ignorant and all that sort of stuff, but they really went to like Qatar World Cup and they really saw the culture of like the Islamic culture and what Qatar expressed, and you saw a lot of free Palestine signs and whatnot. I got educated a lot, bro, a lot by football. And again, I shouldn't call them hooligans, football fans, sorry, who educated me on certain things, on how their mentality is and how they are actually clued up with politics and what's going on in the world. And I saw them, they were like, who cares about the alcohol? We're here to watch the football and we respect the land and people being hospitality and free Palestine. And I don't know, it was a big one, bro. And I'm surprised. I'm not even joking. I'm surprised that the world leaders actually allowed it to happen in a Muslim country. That's in my opinion. But I'm glad it did because it exposed a lot and expressed a lot that, because again, I won't get too deep into it, but it just was a positive thing, I think, for the Muslims, even though it was trying to be boycotted through BBC and all this other bullshit, Fox News making up all this shit. I think the overall casuals, the fans, whatnot, saw what real Islam could be. So I was happy about that from that perspective, even though
Interesting.
Qatar's not perfect and other stuff. But anyway, we have a minute left.
A minute left. Okay. James Krause getting in trouble for illegally betting. Boom.
He lose. I don't know.
Huh?
He lose about that one, but I don't know. That's a tough one.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah,
Okay. Doug Crosby with the judging situation. Like, what's going? That's new, right? I've never heard about that before, and I've never heard about some MMA cornerman getting busted for betting. This is crazy shit.
it's crazy shit. But listen, bro, we're gonna get locked off any second now. So I just want to just finish off by saying thank you everyone for subscribing, liking, watching, following us, appreciating it. We're gonna keep doing our thing. We'll try and do some new stuff. But again, thank you everyone. Happy New Year, happy holidays,
Appreciate.
and Slick, thank you, bro, for your time always.
Likewise. Well, wait, when are you leaving anyway?
In 2 weeks,
When you go
bro,
back?
in January 7th.
Huh. I'll see you when I see you.
Hopefully I'll see you. Let's get a quick picture, bro.
All right.
One.